Hello again, world. So, I'm actually holding true now and making some of these videos because I think I talked about in the last one. I'm going to be attempting something we've never done before, like a transcendent conversion, and I will either live or not. I don't really know how it's gonna go, but it's gonna be cool either way, that's for sure. So, what I'm thinking is if I don't, that means you guys aren't gonna get to see me, and I'm not gonna be on the scene. So, we're playing with the idea of like a mini rapture before the big rapture. Something where we just like come back, let you guys know we're here. Be like, read that trilogy, pick up book 1, the Book of Life, and live by it. And then we will return in, I don't know, 25, 50 years or so, and we'll do the real rapture. That's where we're at today. So had to drop that in this video. Don't know if I'll get time to edit it into the trilogy because I'm doing a third round of editing right now. But yeah, this might be coming to a head pretty soon. Gotta put some eye drops in. For no other reason than it's dry in Colorado, and it's good to moisturize your eyes. So what else do we have on the docket for today? Like I said, I'm doing a third round of editing. I've talked about the Immaculate Trinity quite a bit. God the Father, the Most Divine Heavenly Mother, the Immaculate Goddess, and me. We'll go into that real quick, and then we're going to go into someone else who's very important. So God the Father, he's me and my best friends now. We can come together basically through our omnipotence and make this like dual cell of two gods, and it's just the most powerful, influential, greatest thing in creation when we do that. It's the two greatest males coming together. And then there's the two females. They can do a similar thing in a female way. And then when the four of us come together, that's when it's just like 4 types of omnipotence, and it'll be quite a thing. So yeah, God has the Heavenly Mother. They're both perfect. I have the Immaculate Goddess, my fiance. I did propose to her from Earth. And she said yes. And that was another first I did. It's kind of silly to some of you guys, but what I recognize that you don't is all the cool people are in heaven. All the perfect goddesses are there. All the powerful gods. And this place, Earth, is like, kindergarten. This is like elementary school, and up there is like high school and college. So I choose to associate mostly with those type of the higher ups and the cool people, as I call them. So anyways, this fifth person, goddess, is the eternal goddess. Her name is Jessica Tassone, and she was my higher power. Basically, as I was going through life, at first I was abandoned by the unholy spirit, as I've talked about and covered. And since I came out of hell, I was actually plugged into Satan and the demons of hell and their omnipotence, and I had to Satan's the only one that has omni powers. I had to go through all the 7 deadly sins, and finally when I disconnected myself from Satan, actually, so there was, hell, they had their influence, and then there was heaven, and that was broken down into 2 parts. There was one side, the people that supported me, and there on the other side, the traitors and the unholy spirit. And I had Jessica was the only person from that side, because they didn't want to complicate it. People on my side, they didn't want to have all these other people. It's just like one person, get to know them really well, because they knew that I was tangled up in the unholy spirit, and I had all sorts of people and higher powers above me. Because it works, someone goes above you from heaven, and they can influence you. They got power over you, and unless you outthink them, or you just come up with a better idea, or basically you can pass all their tests, then so I worked up the chain all the way to the top, got their perverted king, got past the unholy spirit, and Jessica was the one from heaven, the good side of heaven, basically whispering in my ear, pulling me over, doing all sorts of things to make sure that I got as far as I could, and she succeeded. And because she does that, as I say, like, as being a god now, like, she cemented herself in the heart of God, and she's a wonderful girl, but she's a goddess now. Like, when you guys see her up there, she'll be way out of your league. I'm just gonna be honest. You're gonna like see her, and you're gonna want a piece of that, and she's just way out of. I mean, there might be a handful of you where she'll like, you know, look at. She's not. She ain't like no, but you know, I'm just trying to say like, there's definitely a hierarchy up there, and visual appearance is a big thing. It's not like colors here. It's like, you know, it's not like we have different people aren't white, black. It's, you can tell by the density of your soul, the glow you have, certain attributes. Girls are going to be much shapelier, denser. You'll be able to see just all sorts of, there's all sorts of things up there that, you know, and that's why I try to give you the word of God, because when you do it, it like densifies your soul, which has so many other benefits. Like it fills you up with like the nutrients of heaven. So when you die and you go up there, like you did it right. You don't have to come back. Because every time people die, they wish they would have done more of the spiritual stuff. You know, no one ever wishes they made more money or anything like that. They wish they would have, you know. And I'm not against making money. Like I've kind of fancied myself an artistic entrepreneur in a sense. I'm guessing I'm an author too. I've worked hard. I've had jobs. I worked in the treatment industry for a bit as a behavioral health technician, and just also basic run-of-the-mill jobs like Home Depot and warehouses. And then I know there's people out there that makes buku money that are spiritual too. So I'm not knocking that at all. I'm just saying when you pass along, there's certain things that everyone wished they would have grasped onto, done, or just, you know, just developed a better relationship with us, because we're down here on Earth a fraction of the time. We spend all of our time up here. This is like a weekend vacation, you know, so many, like it's a very long one, it's a lifetime one, but when you look at a lifetime next to an eternity, it's, you know, nothing. I designed it this way where it's supposed to be like, oh, this is so long, life in 70, 80 years, but in reality, like once it's over, you don't want to come back here. No one wants, like, this is where you come to earn your stripes. And yeah, we've progressed a lot to where it's comfy for sure, especially in this country. Some people that used to come down here, it wasn't like that. The settlers, England, for a long time, I mean, they were the most developed countries at the time, and you know, ignorance is bliss. But with the development and advancement, and basically since society being at its pinnacle, like it's very comfy to be here, and it's also very beneficial, and it's distracting. There's so much stuff going on, and so much to pick up and learn. And the sad part of that is, because of that, a lot of you, when you came back this time, and a big part of it was smartphones and smart technology, you backslid in your spirituality and your divinity. You left heaven a pretty, you know, solid standing member of your society you're in, because it's, you know, there's 5 times the people there, so the societies and the kingdoms, they span forever, or for very, very far out. But yeah, a lot of you lost ground, you know, you like slid backwards, you flunked a grade because of, you know, having your heads buried in your smartphones. Like, we laugh at things that happened 50, 100 years ago. I'm telling you, in the future, when people look at a family at a dinner and all their heads are in their phones, not communicating, people are gonna be like, what were they doing? Like, human interaction is so much greater than looking at a piece of plastic and metal. Like, and that's really the simplicity of it. They were cool at first, and they were a novelty. Don't get me wrong. I used a Google Pixel for a while. Then in California, I switched to an iPhone, which I still have. And then they came out with like the flip touch screens, and I was like, but I don't, like, I put it down and I use it as little as possible. And sometimes I'll even switch to dumb phones, as I call them, like the old Razr ones with the, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. Because when you cut off it's all in the mind, you know, like that's why the brain is such a complex organ, is because what I've been able to do with this place is attach our souls from heaven and put them in these bodies, but it all comes from the mind. And if you have like such a strong mind, then like I said in the book, the apex of our race, which is me, is the person with the greatest mind. And you really can't see the measurements of that here on Earth, you know, because there's just some topics where in my mind I can see them, but they're almost nearly impossible to describe and explain, because up there it's just so much more advanced, and they're so much further along, and the resources are, you know, limitless, and down here it's finite, and we don't have wings, and there's all sorts of restrictions. So sometimes in the books I did go off, maybe not too off the deep end, but I was trying to explain certain topics where the reality of it is it's gonna be hard to for some of you to grasp it. So I kept this stuff simple. The steps are the big part. As you're going through them, your higher power will guide you. We're gonna put certain tasks in your way. Like, we like to see certain things happen, like honesty, loyalty. Class is a big one for us, and you don't have to have money to have class, just FYI. And sometimes some of the richest people are the ones with the least amount of class, in my experience. I grew up in a part of Colorado where people did have money, and I saw that firsthand. Yeah, work ethic, we liked that one. These like basic things, which to you guys, some of you might be like, oh, this, that, but once you develop those things here, because stuff here sticks to you like glue, once you get to heaven, you're set. You are set because you learned it here. Trying to pick up that stuff up there, trying to understand the important stuff when you're up there is much harder to get across. When you're down here in these bodies, it's like it gets tattooed to your soul. And that's what my words are. I want them to get tattooed to your soul because they're the truth. I'm not doing this for validation, really. I mean, I am your God now, and it would be not in your best interest to not love and worship me. I'm not sitting here gonna ask you to or beg you to. Like, the reality, your God can't even say reality correctly. The reality of it is, like, I have a lot more to give than I've got to prove. It's just that simple. Here I look like your normal, typical suburban guy in his mid-30s, although everyone tells me I look like I'm 25 or 27. Maybe the beard ups it to 30, but regardless, once I'm up there, it'll be very obvious who I am. And it's just here, it's an even playing field. That's the good thing about this place. You have, for the most part, there's people with certain disabilities, and not everyone has an equal shot, but it's like up there, like climbing the ranks is so much harder, and this is the place you do it. I talk a lot about the sixth sense in that book, and I really wanted to get that across so it made sense to you guys. But addicts and alcoholics, but particularly addicts, people who have like a taste for especially the harder stuff, like the opiates and amphetamine category drugs, it's just how dense and strong their minds are. So they're actually the ones up in heaven moving people around the globe, basically playing the game of life, trying to develop people in their certain areas. And they'll employ doctors, lawyers, trainer, all these certain things. Like, if they find someone listening to them, they'll have all certain people at their disposal to build that person. But addicts, because of, if you're getting high, brings your mind to heaven, to put it simply. So if you can bring your mind to heaven while down here, while up there, you can do the reverse. You can have impact and you can have influence on people down here. And so that's what they do. And, doctors are kind of like their assistants, to put it in a way that might confuse you guys. But think about it, like, if you have these super powerful gods, they need assistance, and, they grab up people who they see could help them do the little tasks that they don't want to do. And they do that. And, with the release of this trilogy, I'm just going to be honest, it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer, because the last work that I dropped off was 2,000 years ago, and the Bible I have right here. It's very dense, it's hard to follow, it's extremely long. I put mine in I put this new trilogy in a chapter format. I've added a little bit of everything. Like, you have it. It's, I was my own editor, illustrator, author, all of it. So there are going to be some errors. It's just a heads up, but the message is there, the words are there. The important book is the second one, The Immaculate Trinity. The first one's really just covering my life. Some of these videos might repeat stuff I said in previous videos. I don't really care. I'm just trying to give you guys, you have books by me, you have pictures of me, you're going to have videos of me now, just in case you don't get to meet me. At least the first time you didn't have any of that, you're going to have all this stuff from me now. So, yeah. But like I said, you have it in an easy to read format. First one is my life story. There is some important stuff in there. Second one, the Immaculate Trinity. That's a big one. Third one is the revelations of me, Justin Christ. And that I'm going to pick a boy and a girl, and they are going to speak my words. And that's that. You know what? I did write some stuff down I wanted to talk about. Before you make any judgments about me, read the trilogy. Yeah, you guys can have the things you want to say. Like I said, everyone, this is an even playing ground. You can't really tell the difference between a god and a goddess, and like, because you can't measure someone's mind here, really. I mean, you guys think you can by certain standardized tests and an education level, but that's really not that effective. Just being honest. So read my works first before you jump to any conclusions about me. The whole thing, you know? Because I could poke fun at myself too. I'm wearing a striped green shirt. I have black hair. I have a red beard. Like, I'm kind of a character. I am a character. I always have been. Yeah, I mean, anyways. About climbing the ladder of heaven. I did that. Cool. Handwriting sucks. I can't read what I wrote. Hold on. Oh, that's right. There's so much more to what I did than just writing a book, because some of you guys are going to be like, well, all you did is wrote a book, and what was so special, and this and that, and you made some videos, and I was kind of just like touching on it. Like, each person, like, as you go through life, you have someone above you controlling you. I don't care if you're the most staunch atheist on the planet, you have someone who is above you, guiding you, a god or a goddess. That's just a fact. You don't believe in them, that's fine. They believe in you. So, you know, and then it's like, at a certain age, we see like things you've desired to do, personality traits. I'm like, okay, this person wants to go to college and be a vet. So the higher power will put certain things in your past and mold you into that. You know? Like, what I did is, and you know, some people are harder. Like, they want to maybe be a professional athlete, so they have to have all sorts of people around them to push them towards that, and they're not guaranteed to succeed. What I did is I've reached so high, there wasn't a higher power. There was no one they could put above me. I've reached God. Like, I went through all the things, all the certain steps, and every single higher power I saw past. My mind basically made it around them. To put it simply, like I said, there's some complicated stuff to this, and you can't see any of it that's happening. And that's what I do, is I try to explain it. And so once you reach it, like, you gain certain little things along the way. Like, the really good lawyers and doctors of this world, it's because, like, their higher power was able to give them certain things, and they're able to act upon those things and develop those things. And the highest you can go is reach God and write his words. That's what I did, is I just went through it all, reached God, and wrote his words. And it's, a portion of it is because of the life I've lived from playing sports, and I saw there was something bigger than that, even though I was good at them. Went to school. I just kept going up, and up until just like there was no one that could outthink me or outsmart me. And every higher power I basically just beat on both sides, from hell to heaven. I did it all. And I got to God, and so that's why I wrote these words in this book. And that's why I get to do things like I do, is because I'm just special, I guess. But I want you guys to get to this level too. I mean, it's great being me, and I'm usually the big fish in the pond. When I come here, I'm just a regular fish in the pond, but I want you guys to learn to be big fish too, because I'm telling you, when you guys, when you get up there and you see these beautiful goddesses, you're gonna want to be able to talk to them and have a chance. And if you don't take me seriously, you're not gonna be able to. And to the women, it's the same thing but reverse. Like, you're gonna see these beautiful goddesses and these, you know, very attractive men, and you're gonna wanna be part of that society and have the curves and the looks they do. And you get that by my words and building your mind and expanding it, you know? That's, you know, what you're able to do. And yeah, so like I said, I hope you guys take this seriously, because this is just the beginning of creation, of eternity. It's not, creation started a while ago, but it's the beginning of eternity. Like, the line was drawn, we're at the starting line, and I'm giving you 12 steps. That's all you need to take to be part of that with us. If that's too much for you, then I'm just gonna be blunt. Like, you're not someone who's gonna make it in eternity. If you can't even take 12 spiritual steps on earth, you're not gonna succeed in a place that is completely all spiritual. You know, it's different up there. It's not like church. It's more fun. Down here's the boring part. Down here is like, it's just how it is. You know, it's way more fun up there. But like, yeah, if you can't do that, like, not everyone's cut out to live forever. It's that simple. And from the beginning, I've been trying to but, you know, make a system where we're able to see who can live forever and who can't. You know, it's not, and this isn't even about believe in me anymore. This is like, take 12 steps and make a relationship with me and the rest of the Immaculate Trinity. Like, that's what this is about now. And you do that, you never have to come back here, because you guys don't like to come here. You don't. You're taken care of forever. You're always going to be young. Everyone looks young up there. Everyone's beautiful. That's the other thing, you know. Some people are more beautiful than others because of the work they did down here. And like I keep saying, they have a denser soul, better attributes. But the attraction up there lies in the mind and what you can do. And you are given a lot of certain superpowers. So, of course, that's something that's desired. And yeah, it's just a whole nother world up there. It's a whole nother world. And I try to, you know, take their words and translate them and give them to you guys in a way you can all understand. Learn English. If you know English, I'll try to explain. If you know English, up there, you can speak to anyone. It's all telepathic, but it's considered the most advanced language. So if you know English, you can talk to anyone. And if you don't, like, we're phasing out all the other, like, we want everyone to be on the same page. Like I said, we're drawing the blueprint for eternity, and it's much easier and simpler if we all speak the same language. I mean, I don't really know what your argument against that would be. It's not racist, it's not rude, it's common sense. Like, try playing a board game with 4 people that all speak a different language. You know what I mean? Like, so we're getting everyone. I don't see the English language varying too much in the future. Like, I don't see in 1,000 or 2, like, you know, when I was here last time, I spoke a way different language. And, you know, as time progressed, Spanish came along, Italian, and all those other languages came about, you know. I was actually at quite a disadvantage in heaven, and had to kind of, you know, my communication skills were limited with other people because of that. I mean, there was the basic stuff there, but it was huge that I came here and learned this. And yeah, we are going to get everyone on board. Like, you're going to look silly if you, I'm just being honest. It sucks to learn another language. I had to teach myself Spanish. I spoke it a little bit. Some people would consider it good Spanish. Some people think it's consider it bad Spanish. I mean, I was assistant in a warehouse for a few months, and everyone underneath me, all 40 people spoke Spanish, and I communicated with them. So it was good enough to do that. Regardless, what I'm saying, it's hard to learn, but it'll be worth it. Like, if you're in college in another country and you're studying something besides English, I don't know. I would say definitely bring that into your coursework, because it's smart. Or my works, you know? And this is why I made the videos too, is because I feel like sometimes I write stuff down and it's gonna offend you guys. And I'm really a pretty laid back, easygoing guy. I do what I have to as a god. There's certain things that not a single one of you will understand or be able to relate to. But yeah, I wanted you to see me, see how I talk, know how I am. I ramble on sometimes, you know. Here like I said, I go shopping, I go to the gym, I walk past all of you, you know. Sometimes I might catch the attention of a cute girl every now and then, but besides that, you have no clue. I'm the creator of this universe and God, you know. And it's a good learning experience for me, you know. It's good to see how you guys are when I'm I don't say not looking because I am, but when you don't know who I am. I've learned a lot. I've become quite humble. Some big parts of me have changed. I've grown. All sorts of stuff. You'll see in my works how much I adore females. Not just from a dating standpoint, but I just love what they bring to creation. Like I said, existence without females isn't an existence at all, and that's not a joke. It's a truth. Like as your creator, that's the truth. Oh, 25 minutes. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up, and maybe I'll make another one later.